Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
That's what I'm talking about. Ross Tucker standing by. Our guests today are sponsored by Basant Motors. Spend a little too much this holiday season. Let us help you by getting you a gift card with your next vehicle purchase. Learn more at basantmotors.com. I am off today. I messed up that read. My apologies to the folks at Basant.
Bruce Pedersen.
And you forgot to remind me to do the highlights in the first segment.
It's usually me screwing up on the show, and Ross will tell you that. He'll confirm it. But you should be playing the Bengals Manic Monday right now.
Yeah, maybe we should. But we'll get to the highlights in the next segment. Right now, though, as always, on a Monday, although last week was Tuesday. We bring in Ross Tucker from the Ross Tucker Football Podcast in Westwood One. Just, again, I'll say it, marvelous, splendid NFL weekend, highlighted by the Chiefs over the Bills in overtime. How are you, Ross? How was that?
Donnie, I am fantastic. Thank you for having me. And I got to tell you, I've heard both of your mistakes. And let's be honest, it's Rick's fault. I mean, very clearly, both of those mistakes. I don't know how, but somehow, some way, Donnie, both flub ups. And here's the thing. Here's the thing about messing up, like talking about Basant Motors. We actually end up talking about them even more when you screw it up.
Exactly.
Like, they get more out of it. Yeah. I love Basant Motors. I love when Donnie screws up talking about Basant Motors, because then we can talk. Is it Bruce Brederson?
Well, it was in the first segment. It's not Bruce Pedersen. It's Bruce Boudreau. I messed it up. I mixed up his name with the player's name.
Oh, got it. At any rate, we love Basant. We love Rick. We love Donnie. And we love football. Are you guys ready to admit right now on the TV in Vancouver that football is a better sport than hockey? Rick, go.
No. There's no way.
Rick, did you watch?
Yes, I watched every playoff game, Ross, but you cannot tell me without being in the city and in Canada knowing how passionate.
We want to keep our passports, Ross.
Yes, about hockey we are.
So I have to say no. How about this, Ross? And I saw this on Twitter last night, and I thought it when I was watching it. Any chance Bills, Chiefs, arguably best game in NFL history?
Well, I think it's certainly up there. It's the type of game that people are going to talk about for a long, long time. I don't have the statistics in front of me or the time or desire to try to look them up, but I can't imagine there's very many games with that much on the line, because frankly, I think the winner of that game ended up being the Chiefs, has a great chance to win the Super Bowl. I think whoever won that game, in my mind, would be the Super Bowl favorite. So you think about what was on the line to have that many back and forth touchdowns, where I'll give you an example, okay? I found out before the game that I will be on the sideline for the AFC Championship game. So while that game was going on, I'm thinking, okay, I'm driving up to Buffalo. Oh, it looks like I'll be flying to Kansas City. Oh, I'm driving to Buffalo. Oh, I'm flying to Kansas City. I mean, I was an emotional wreck, looking at flights, not knowing what was going on. And then to be able to score with 13 seconds left, that's the only thing that bothers me a little bit, is that it was, in my opinion, such a tactical error by the Bills on multiple levels that takes a little bit of the shine off the game. But Mahomes still got it done. The guy's incredible.
Ross, when you talk about a tactical error, are you talking about the kickoff with 13 seconds left?
I would say multiple tactical errors. Number one, certainly the kickoff. You must take some time off of the clock with the kickoff. Now, listen, the Chiefs have some unbelievable speed. Hardman, Hill, Pringle. I understand there's a concern there. And I understand the logic that we'd rather have our defense set up, all 11 guys, as opposed to kicking it and giving it to one of their speedsters in space. To me, there's a happy medium where you squib it on the ground to one of the second level guys. There's 8 guys up by the ball, then 2 more, and then the returner deep. You kick it in between those second group of 2 guys or right at one of them. Let one of those guys who's not as fast have the ball. He's not going to take it very far, and you're going to take 4 or 5 seconds off the clock. And so they'll only get one play. I think that the Bills were a little gun shy after the Tyreek Hill punt return that had happened earlier in the quarter.
I have a 15-year-old son, and he was calling. I have to give him credit. He was calling for the squib kick. Great minds think alike. Hey, Ross, I'm sure you've been inundated with this question, but does the NFL need to change its overtime rules?
It seems like we get inundated by this every other year. I don't believe they need to. I understand the thought process, and people believe it's unfair. I'll throw a couple things at you guys, okay?
Okay.
Number one, let's say they made the rule both teams get possession of the ball no matter what. Okay. So then the Chiefs win the toss like they did. They go down, score a touchdown. What do you think the Bills are going to do? Go down, score a touchdown. Then the Chiefs get the ball again, probably go down, score a touchdown. Chiefs win? Like, what did we fix? What did we just solve? The Chiefs still had the advantage because they won the coin toss. I think it would help people to be able to visually see the Bills' offense on the field in that extra period, but I don't really know what it accomplishes. And here's the thing I think is interesting. A lot of people like the college overtime in the United States, right? College football,
at the 30,
where both teams get the ball, you go back and forth, 25-yard line, whatever, right? Do you realize that the team that wins the coin toss in college football wins a higher percentage of the games than the team that wins the coin toss in the NFL?
Wow.
Because there's a distinct advantage from going second. You know what you need. You know, the team gets a turnover, you just kick a field goal. They get a field goal, you need field goal to tie or touchdown to score, or you know what you need. So they score a touchdown, on 4th down, you got to go for it. So either way, there is some advantage based upon the coin toss, really no matter how you slice it in my mind.
What if you go more conventional, Ross, and just play another quarter?
Yeah.
Play another 15-minute period.
Yeah, I've heard that one, and I think that would be fine for playoffs only. You don't want that kind of time off the clock, those guys playing that long in regulation. But I still don't feel like it really alleviates the issue of the team that wins the coin toss winning a higher percentage of the games, right? Like, I think the last time I looked, you win the coin toss with the way it is now, or actually this is maybe when it was sudden death, but it was like 52.7%. It's still not going to be 50-50, right? I mean, the team that wins the coin toss is probably going to have, Donnie, 2 possessions to the 1 possession for the other team, or 3 versus 2 for the other team. So there still is an advantage. I think that would be a little bit fairer, but I don't have a lot of sympathy. I'm big on personal responsibility and accountability. It's one of my favorite things about Rick. When he messes up like he often does, he always admits to it.
I admit
In fact, one of Rick's favorite things on the show is to admit when he makes a mistake, which, by the way, ingratiates him with me and the audience. I love it. They had 140 plays, guys. 140 plays, between offense, defense, special teams. I don't want to hear that's not fair. Like, how about not letting them score when you have the lead with 13 seconds left?
Okay, Ross, you're the expert. Tell us the conference finals. Who do you see winning, and who's do you see ending up in the Super Bowl?
So I feel very strongly about the Chiefs. I'm going to be there on the sideline. What the Bengals have done is unbelievable, but this is a tough task. Their offensive line struggles. Joe Burrow takes sacks he shouldn't. I know that they won the meeting late in the regular season, but I think the Chiefs win, maybe even by double digits. The other game's a little more interesting. Everything to me says Rams, but the Niners own them, man. I mean, they just own them. So I'm still going to go Rams, but that's the game that I think will be closer and hopefully be a great one.
What's your best guess on Tom Brady's future?
There's a lot of rumblings. It's funny because I said before the game, Donnie, because I was there yesterday in Tampa, and I called that one. Knowing him a little bit from having played up there, I can't imagine he would want to retire after a poor performance like yesterday. But then if they won the Super Bowl, I can't imagine he would want to retire because I feel like he'd want to try to win a third. So, like, in my mind, Brady just never retires. I don't know. Like, I don't think he retires from a positive, winning the Super Bowl. I don't think he retires going out in a negative fashion. So, I don't know, man. But there's enough rumblings this week that it kind of makes you wonder. And I know family is a priority to him. I think his oldest son might be in high school now or close to it. So, evidently, he's going to take some real time to think about this one. We'll see. He's often said he wants to play till 45. That would be one more year.
Okay, Ross, before we let you go, Valentine's Day just around the corner. My front page story. What can you tell us about this?
Guys, it is the best Valentine's Day gift I've ever heard of. Little birdie told me that Rick gets his wife Canucks tickets every year for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, one.
I mean, he doesn't have to pay for those. Rick, you get those for free.
No, I don't.
Get your wife a story from myfrontpagestory.com. They'll interview you, Rick, about your wife. We'll write the story about her. When you give it to her and you say, hey, babe, I want to do something special for you.
Yeah.
So I had a story written about you. She'll be like, wait, what? She will be blown, especially coming from you, Rick.
Yeah.
She will be blown away that you got her a story. And then when she reads the quotes like, I'm always on my phone, breaking news, because that's what I do. I never tell her how much I appreciate, how much she understands my job and being the number one hockey insider in British. Like, your wife will cry. Just those quotes right there, Rick. Your wife will cry. You will win. myfrontpagestory.com. Do it, Rick. You can make up for all the mistakes you've made. Get a story for your wife. myfrontpagestory.com.
How do we? So you just go to the internet and just Google that in there.
Yes, Rick.
All right.
Or Rick, you can just type in myfrontpagestory.com.
Yes,
like I just said 4 times.
Yes.
You don't need to Google it in there.
Yeah.
Listen, if you're watching this right now, do me a favor for Valentine's Day. Be a Donnie. Don't be a Rick. Okay? myfrontpagestory.com.
Yeah.
Hey, Ross, she's married to Rick. She does cry every day.
Yeah, exactly.
So keep that in mind.
You think that's fun?
Give her a reason to be happy.
Okay.
Rick, and by the way, every time she's like, you're watching another hockey game, or every time you're on your phone, you can literally just point to the story on the wall.
Hey, and by the way, quickly.
Hey, I'm on the other line. Just look.
Hey, Ross.
Did you get me a story, babe? No, you didn't get me a story. I got you a story from my front page. Go read it again. myfrontpagestory.com.
Ross, quickly, she does love it when you rip into me. I will say that.
We all do. Thanks, Ross.
See you guys.
Okay, next week, Ross Tucker, Football Podcast.